Good afternoon again. I know, some of you are screaming I should have been an artist, but I don't have time to be an artist right now, do I? Not until everybody's woken up, and then I'll have a break. You've seen, some of you swear by it, the video clips of them filming light passing through a bottle. Looks like a blue slug. I bet it wasn't the light that's bouncing off of that mirror onto there. I guarantee you that nobody has measured that light. You know why? Because it's absolute. Right? That's why. Now, earlier on today, I was talking about a fossil. Scientists claim a fossil that was found up a mountain proves the theory that Earth was once totally covered in water. But as usual, there is a massive flaw in that statement because tectonic plates colliding together is what mountains are made of. Tectonic plates crush, grind, and rise. Some of them slip over each other and create catastrophic earthquakes. These ones are tectonic plates that had nowhere to go. Neither of them gave. They went up. Now, here's ice. The ice where they get the ice cores from. They drill into the ice. Now, I've spoken about this once before, but not with the mountain thing in the background. And it's only just occurred to me, seeing as common sense and logic is running amok. Ice cores, when they dig in, get to a certain level, say, we're at 300 meters or whatever. We're at 3 kilometers. And they bring it up and you've got all of this ice and they cut it into chunks. That ice is not going to give an age. It's impossible. All it does, it tells the person looking at the chunk of ice that they've cut out what was in the very local atmosphere at the moment that piece froze. And then the following year, maybe it snowed again, there was something in the atmosphere, boom. But only the local atmosphere, right? Not on the other side of the planet. Now, ice, let's say that in Antarctica, what they say, 4 kilometers deep. Okay. So, how old is the ice? How old? How can anybody know? As soon as you dig down to here, you don't know how old it is because you do not know how old the next bit down is, or the next bit down, or the next bit down. This could have, the first kilometer could have frozen. Look, I'm using a hypothetical, but proper hypothetical, not impossible theoretical horseradish. Let's just say that the first layer of ice, of snow, formed, boom, boom, 1 billion years ago. The first kilometer of ice is 1 billion years old, okay? All of it on top of that has just been a case of it was settling, it was building over the years, a few decades, and then stopped. And then the sun came out, and the absolute sun melted it back down. Over and over and over and up it came, and then it stopped. Maybe some of it melted, maybe it melted all the way again, and then it started again. The ice cores do not give an age. The only thing they can do is let a person know what was in the local atmosphere at the time that froze. You could do ice cores in your garden. If it got that cold where you live, couldn't you? Every year you put something in it, but it's not going to tell you what was in the atmosphere even 5 miles down the road, is it? An ice core. A piece of ice that will tell the person holding it what was in the local atmosphere at the time that water froze. The end, right? Now, on the other hand, the actual mountains, that's where the information, don't they say they carbon date rocks and stuff? Well, would that not be interesting? To go right to the very top of, what is it, the Himalayas? The highest peak. And radiocarbon test that mother. And then you could go down 50 meters and another 50 and take readings 50, 50, 50, 50, all the way down. Because if you want age, you're not going to find it in the ice. You find it in the rock. They say they can do it. Then radiocarbon part of the Himalayas. They cannot radiocarbon anything. It's a myth. Limited with what they can do, but exaggerated with all of the achievements. You are being led down a garden path that has no end. You want old rock? Go to the top of a mountain, because it all started down here. That is where you get your true story. But they won't do that. They don't do common sense and logic, do they? Laters.